What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my all new review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 4, reunion part 2. Okay, we are back with the argument between Kiki and Tisha. Okay, Carlos asked Kiki, "Did Tisha ever confide in her about Marcel cheating?" She said no. Did she ever confide in you about her assuming that he cheated? Yes. And that's when Tisha would come in and say she's lying. I've never confided in her about Marcel cheating. And she knows a lot about me, which is why Melody want her to come onto the show. I'm just like, okay, Tisha. Like, you can't keep on saying that you never confided in your cousin about something that has to do with your marriage. And I feel like you and Marcel have this semantics language that's annoying me, okay? So Kiki said, "So I'm lying? I'm lying? You never spoken to me about how you assumed that he was cheating? You never speculated once upon a time that Marcel might have been unfaithful?" So again, she's placing Mel as to blame, and this is the reason why we're at this place because of her. And then Tisha had no choice but to admit it. All this time you kept on defending that Marcel never cheated, you had never experienced it. All of that to say, yeah, she found a picture of a woman's ass in Marcel's phone and she screenshotted it. And after she screenshotted it, she sent it to Kiki to investigate and research who the girl was. So, right then and there, Tisha, you have had doubts in your marriage. You've had experienced something along the lines of Marceau showcasing how he's being unfaithful or he's doing something inappropriate that you had to address. So, you did confide in Kiki that Marceau was doing something foul. You lied. You lied, not Kiki. Kiki told the truth. You did have to look inside your marriage. You did have to confront some things. This is one of them. But she wants to say that she researched everything. She didn't find nothing after that. And did she confront Marceau? Yes, she confronted him. But how did the picture get in his phone, Marceau? How did the picture get in your phone? He's stuttering, saying how he interviewed a girl for a job and then out of the blue he got sent a picture. I'm with Kiki. She said it was not out of the blue. And this is my thing. What job did you have at that time where you were a part of the hiring process? It couldn't have been Scold. It couldn't have been Black. So what job did you have at that time where you were interviewing someone and this girl sent you a picture of her ass? Now it wasn't a full blown, but it was just enough to see a shape of her ass. It was covered with something. And it still don't make no sense. What happened in that interview? And trying to get an understanding of it, he said, he hearted it. He liked it. Or I didn't like it, you didn't heart it. Something like that. Tisha Marceau want to clear it up that he never liked it, he never hearted it, he never did anything, but he still did something. Either way, nowadays, when you heart a picture, you like the picture. And he replied to it. Now, when it came to him replying to it, he wanted to lie and say he didn't. Kiki said, no, you did. You said a midday work surprise. Carlos said, he said, what? A midday work surprise. As soon as it came down to the picture, Marceau was sweating bullets. Marceau was fidgeting. He couldn't keep his lies straight. He was looking like, oh shit, I can't get out of it. I can't. It was silence on the couch between the two of them. When it came down to Kiki saying that he did reply to it, and they had no choice but to say, you did. You did. And this is something that is bothering me with Tisha and Marceau. They always want to add something else to not make it seem for what it is. Your husband received an explicit photo of a woman's body, and he replied to it. He almost lied on that stage and said he didn't. And why was she sending you a picture? What was going on between the two of them? Now Tisha either heard this answer before and didn't like it because she want to know what he gonna say this time. Because she's looking like, you better say it right. You better go off the script that we were gonna go off of. If you go off script, that's gonna make me look stupid than I already look. So Martell in the background saying, did she get the job? Hilarious. I die laughing like Maurice died laughing, but it's kind of funny though, Maurice. You are laughing at the expense of your brother possibly getting caught up in something he shouldn't be doing, but you will always defend your brother even when he's doing foul shit, so it doesn't surprise me. And Marcel tried to clean it up like it's not as bad as it was him receiving a picture because he's been sending DMs all the time. And the first time he received the picture, he was surprised by it. But why would she send you one in the first place? That's the thing. People get DMs all the time, but you can only get a picture if you are engaging in conversation to receive a picture. And Tisha wants to still defend it with nothing happened after that. There was nothing to say they were together. There was no conversations, no text messages. Tisha, there's such a thing as deleting a conversation. You do know that, right? And have that option to delete a conversation where you can never find anything. That's probably why you researched and researched and couldn't find nothing, because he covered his tracks. It stopped right there. He probably slipped and kept that picture, but deleted the conversations. Trust and believe, okay? So Carlos is still struggling with you just saying it as if this isn't something that you should be concerned about. Your husband received an explicit photo of a woman. He replied to it, and everything that's been circulating around your husband's rumor, around your husband's allegations of him cheating on you, you don't think that that could be some truth to it? She said no. It don't, because I researched it. I researched everything they said about him before confronting him. And then while talking about the rumors of Marceau and everything that is coming across of him being unfaithful, she wants to throw out everything that Martell did to Mel, how there were multiple women that came out the woodwork, multiple women that Martell was dealing with that Melody had to endure. And it's kind of like, this is the thing that Tisha always does that pisses me off, saying how Melly and Martell could have put anything they have on Marcel out there, but Martell just told you in code. The men knows each other's secrets, but they won't say anything. He just told you. And for the fact that you keep on saying it's them that's stirring up the mess, no, Tisha, it's not them. If they had tea, they would have spilled it. But Martell is not spilling anything, and Melly don't have to. Your husband is doing it all on his own by playing that characteristic of a man who's being unfaithful. So she wants to say that she researched this, she did that. And of course, like I said before, she always brings up what Martell did to Mel, how he dealt with more than one woman while cheating on her. He didn't have just one, he had multiple. And Tisha will constantly bring up what Martell did to Mel. We're not talking about what Martell did to Mel. We already discussed that. That's kind of old news. We know what he did to her. What we need to find out is, what are you going to do when Marceau truth finally comes out? Because you coming up with he received a photo of a woman, and you still want to act like it's not the same thing. You still want to act like you've never experienced anything as far as infidelity. You still want to act like you've never been through that in your marriage. Tisha, you can miss me with that. And I feel like she wants to keep on saying it to Mel because she knows what happens to Mel. She loves repeating what happens to Mel, and that's hurtful. And we're not talking about them. We're talking about you. You, Tisha. You always want to deflect and bring up somebody else's situation to say it's not the same thing. It doesn't matter, Tisha. It does not matter. What matters is your husband was caught doing something inappropriate that made you question your marriage, period. And I know for a fact that she says it because she likes repeating it. Just like how she keeps repeating what her mother said about Melody. She loves to. And I think that Carl's getting annoyed with the fact that Tisha don't want to answer the question, don't want to talk about how it's really affecting her, because she wants to keep on bringing up Mel and Martell. And say, listen, I don't care if he slept with one girl or 1,000. And that triggered Tisha to say, he never fucked nobody. And that would have been an issue for me. And Kiki knows who I am. She was, I would never deal with that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just kind of like, Tisha, you coming at the wrong person. You coming at the wrong person with this aggression, how he never fucked nobody. He never did this. That's what Martell did. Da-da-da-da-da. And it's kind of funny, though, that Tisha is the main one talking. You notice that? Tisha is the main one defending herself, defending her husband, and he's not coming out the woodwork saying nothing. Why isn't he saving you the embarrassment by not speaking up about what happened? He's allowing you to say something and you're going to look stupid all by yourself. You are the only one fighting for this marriage. Because he knows anything that he says will be brought back against him. Because he knows he can't speak on what he knows. He know he can't do it. He going to slip up and say something wrong. He know that. And saying how she forgot all about it until Kiki brought it up on the show. But Kiki never went into detail of what you went through, Tisha. All she said was you were questioning your marriage. And you were. You can't tell me you weren't questioning your marriage when you saw that he had a naked photo of a woman in his phone. Then she said it was 14 years ago. Kiki said it wasn't 14. Marshall said it was 12. It could not have been 12 years ago. Instagram has been around for a minute, but it hasn't been around for 10 years. It's been around for a cool minute. Possibly between 2013 to now. But all the added features they've added, especially when it comes to iPhones and everything, no. All those extra gadgets and stuff, that happened recently. Because to me, it's given across this happened before the show, which was in 2018. To me, I think that's the year that it happened. Somewhere along the line before the show, that's when it happened. You can't tell me that this was over 10 years ago. No, it wasn't. So then we get to Miss Wanda. How did Miss Wanda feel about hearing this information? She didn't know because she said Tish don't tell her everything. I found it to be kind of funny that she don't tell you everything because she does. I think she tells you things that she wants you to react to. She tells you things that she wants you to do for her, but she acts like she did not tell you to do things, but you do them anyway. And she already knows how you are when it comes to Marceau. Hence why this season you were on her ass about the back picture where he was in Atlanta. You were on him. On him. And the fact that she's looking at him differently, he said because of a naked photo. Yes. Because of an ass photo, Marceau. If you don't have that type of relationship with Tisha where she's not insecure about you liking a photo, then it shouldn't be an issue. But you know how Tisha is. You saw the first season when it came out to the 20 girlfriends. She wanted to know, was there any truth to that? And you couldn't answer her. So you can miss me with that. And then Wanda went down the elements of what cheating is. When you're looking at somebody that's not your wife, that's cheating. When you're lusting over somebody that's not your wife, that's cheating. And you hear Maurice in the background saying that I'm guilty. You guilty of what, Maurice? Who you lusting over? Kimmy, this is what I'm saying. You have to constantly cover up the things that Maurice says. Either that was a cutoff or he meant it, but something that he said wasn't right. So then, how did Tisha feel about Kiki being a part of the show? Did you think it was something to betray you? She knew that Kiki was coming onto the show because Melly asked her to film. But she said she didn't know what was being said. Kiki told you what was going on. She told you what was going on. She told you what was going to be talked about. You told me what was said, but you didn't tell me what you said. And I feel like Tisha wants to blame Kiki for spending the entire time on the show talking about her, but she didn't. She didn't talk about you all the time, Tisha. You were only mentioned 3 times by Kiki when it came down to you dealing with questioning your marriage, dealing with infidelity or a realm of infidelity. And even on the show, Kiki never went into full details of what you went through because she still wanted to protect you, but she wasn't about to lie and say that you did not go through things. So then when it came down to the picture, Tisha thought that Kiki meant that it was proof. But Kiki said, I never said that was proof. And I will not allow for anybody on this stage to prove me out to be a liar. That's not what I did. And if there were conversations that were in detail of what Tisha went through, they didn't show it. And to say that she's a liar and everything, Miss Wanda said that's exactly who you are. Then we see Miss Wanda and Kiki come at it. And Miss Wanda is in no position to come at somebody being a liar and saying how it was wrong for her to talk about Tisha. But it's okay for you and Tisha to talk about Melody. It's okay for you to talk about somebody's children. It's okay for you to talk about your own niece. Miss Wanda, you are in no position to look at somebody and say you are wrong for talking about your family member. Please miss me. And something happened between them. Miss Wanda crowing like a rooster, which was tacky, unbecoming, like she said. And then you hear Maurice laughing. Maurice, you should stop laughing. This is not funny. This is why everybody gives Miss Wanda a pass. And I mean everybody on that stage. Kimmy, you too. Tisha, Marceau. You know what I'm saying? You guys love the antics that Miss Wanda gives, and that's not cute. That's not funny, her roasting like a rooster like that. And yeah, like I said, Miss Wanda is in no position to be coming at Kiki for talking about Tisha when you can have in-depth conversations about Melody, in-depth conversations about your own niece, talking about her children. You can miss me with that, Miss Wanda. So then Kimmy was asked, was regarding to Tisha. Did you know that Kiki was coming onto the show, and how'd you feel about her not being at the Christmas party with Tisha not being there? And apparently, Kimmy still felt the same way. Why was Kiki there? And that's Tisha's cousin. And how did Mel know Kiki? Now, we already go down that rabbit hole about how Mel knew Kiki, right? And that Kimmy still felt that all Kiki did was talk about Tisha. And there were unseen footage that was outside that led to Kiki talking about Tisha. Now, when it came down to this scene, I felt like it was a jump in Kiki talking, but it wasn't a beginning. It wasn't an opening to the conversation. It just led to Kiki talking about Tisha. It wasn't, it didn't seem like it fit. And at the same time, the footage didn't really give anything. All Kiki said was her and Tisha are first cousins. They've always been close. They've always been able to hash things out. But lately, it's been hard. And I don't know if we can get back to that space again. She wasn't talking about her marriage. And she was talking about her relationship with her being family. So it wasn't her talking about Tisha. I didn't think that. But the fact that that footage never got aired, I don't know. It still did not give me the same feeling as everybody else that's saying that all Kiki did was talk about Tisha. But I still am looking like, Kimmy, you're on a reality show. I'm going to say, like I said in my last video that I had to redo, you knew what kind of conversations was going to happen at that Christmas party. Because that was right around the time the picture that Marceau put up of Maurice at the Atlanta trip was going to come out. And you knew you had to talk about it. So I still don't think that it was solely about Tisha. And she didn't say anything bad at all, but they want to make it as if it was bad. But the clip that they showed, it did not fit. It did not start at the beginning. It was a, look, here go Kiki talking about Tisha. It didn't fit. Then, Kimmy told Kiki this isn't the right place to have this conversation about Tisha. Fine, whatever. Then Marceau wanted to interject that what was said about him when it came down to him laughing about Kiki's addiction. To me, he wanted to not talk about Tisha anymore. He wanted to clear his name because he didn't want nothing else to be said about him coming down on somebody else's addiction. Melody felt like Marceau said it in a joking manner. And who did Kiki tell? I mean, who did Melody tell? No, how did Kiki find out? Melody told her. Now, Marceau wanted validation from Martell in a solemn, did not tell you in a solemn way about Kiki's pain addiction. Martell's pleading the fifth. He don't know nothing, and I felt like it's code for I know how you get. I'm not trying to throw you out there. So I'm gonna say I don't know nothing. I was drunk. I don't remember. Because I felt like Marceau, you can't ask for Martell to give you, an out. You can't ask him. He don't do it. Um, so Marceau said that he would never joke about something that he takes very seriously. But Melly said, please, you talked about the whole first season. And this is Marceau. Marceau always makes dark humor, dark comments, dark jokes about somebody else's situation. He made a joke about Melody and Martell's situation. He talked about Tiffany and Lewis's marriage. Marceau makes very low down dirty comments about other people. He do. And this is when Tisha and Marceau want to say that it was a plot that Melody has set up to have Kiki turn against them. It don't take much to turn against y'all because y'all do it yourselves. And this is the accountability that's been said throughout the entire episode. Marceau is not taking accountability that he said something he shouldn't have said. And Tisha is not admitting to the fact that what he said wasn't right. So, Marie's coming in to defend Marceau, that he never meant to joke about her addiction, and that anything that Kiki needed, Marceau was there for her. He always was showed up for her. So the fact that he was there for her before warning them about who they're inviting in their home, we're not about to do that. But like Melody said, it still wasn't right for him to say it. It was out of order. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make any sense for him to tell us that. We did not know nothing about her. We did not know that to be her issue. You know what I'm saying? We never heard anything bad about her. And I'm still stuck on why was it so important for Tisha and Marceau to say anything at all. And like she told Maurice, you can believe what you want to believe, Maurice. You can believe your brother wasn't joking. Your brother wasn't being sarcastic. Your brother wasn't trying to make funny jokes. You can say that however you want to because you know your brother. Like how your brother threw you under the bus last season about you being in the Atlanta trip. You can miss me, Maurice. And like Millie said, we all know how Marceau can joke. You know what I'm saying? We all know how he can be. So do you believe the comment that he made was him being himself or was it jokingly? I think he was being himself, but at the end of the day, it was still out of order. It wasn't funny to me. He didn't have to tell us that. And this is Marceau not taking accountability that he shouldn't have said anything about Kiki's pain addiction. So now he wants to cleverly, I'm going to use his words, switch the conversation of when have I not made a joke that made everybody laugh? because he asked Millie, did you laugh? No, I did not laugh. So he wanted to ask, when have I not made a joke that made everybody laugh? If I didn't make a joke, then nobody laughed. And this is kind of like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. You're trying to get out of you speaking on somebody else's story that wasn't yours. And now you don't want to take accountability. That wasn't your place to do it. So you want to say, when have I not made a joke that made somebody laugh? We're not talking about that. So how did Kiki feel about it? Did you think that it was a poor joke? Did you think that it was good? So she says that Marceau is a trickster. That's something that cannot be denied. But I do feel it in my heart that Tisha didn't say anything bad about it. Marceau didn't mean it, but it still hurt me that they said anything anyway, because a lot of pain has been spread across her family. People looked up to her, you know what I'm saying? And they know me to not do anything crazy. So the fact that she spoke about Tisha being the first person that brought her to a rehab facility, and I just got out of rehab when I got to the party, but it still hurt me that you guys spoke about my business. Y'all should have never mentioned that to anybody. I was bitter, I was hurt, I was angry that you guys exposed my addiction. And I felt like that is kind of fucked up though. Rather, Marceau, Tisha was there for Kiki, it still was not their place to speak about her addiction to anybody. And I understand about warning people who you're inviting into your home, but it still don't make any sense to me. Because when it came down to Marceau pressuring Tisha to tell, he wanted to tell them. I don't know if he wanted a badge of honor or something, or thank you, Marceau, for letting us know. But to me, he went at it for himself. He wasn't doing it to care for Kiki. He wasn't doing it to care for Tisha. He wanted to make himself look good, that he mentioned something. But then right then and now, he's not taking accountability for what he said hurt Kiki. Because he's looking like, all right, can we move forward now? Can we move on? And I felt like that's kind of fucked up though, Marceau. You don't want to take accountability that you spoke about your cousin-in-law's business and it hurt her feelings. And you're not being remorseful. You're not being understanding. You want to say, okay, that's it. I'm done. Can we move on, please? It's funny. So where did their relationship lie? They're cordial. But, it sucks though. They were first cousins. They were very close. But it sucks that a television show have brought them to this place. Tisha would never admit it, but it has. It has. I feel like the TV show have brought them into a bad place, and Miss Wanda have. But we're going to move on. Then we get to the fight between Wanda and Melody at the Madani event. And how did it all started? Well, it all started when Melody was on the nightcap, and she spoke about Miss Wanda being everybody else's business, but she got a boyfriend and a husband, and her baby daddy in my DMs. And who's her baby daddy? Ask Tisha. It's her daddy. So with her saying that, it led to Miss Wanda going on live and talk about Sugar Mama. And it led to the paternity of Sugar Mama. Now, everything exploded on camera. We saw. Why did Melody confront her? Because she was on her live. Why would I not confront her? But then she talked about how it started. She was outside doing her live, and she recognized B. Nard from one of Miss Wanda's lives, because he was in Wanda's live for a number of times. And he was also in her live after that event. And he was talking about choppers and stuff. I got that choppers. We're going to send them out, blah, blah, blah. So she said, oh, that's you. Now I'm right here. You got choppers for me? Now, Wanda want to come in and say that's not how it went. And he was with me, but because I don't like you, but he wasn't talking about Mel. You can miss him with that, Miss Wanda. You can miss me, because Miss Wanda want to say that Melody instantly came out and confronted Miss Wanda, but that's not how it was. Because she's talking about, yeah, I'm going to get things going, I'm going to get things popping. Melody was on her live, and someone asked her, do you need any help? She said, oh, no, I don't need no help. I'm good, I'm straight. So Miss Wanda, how you want to say Melody made a beeline to you? She didn't. She didn't make a beeline to you. Because the producer told her to get off live. Now, Miss Wanda is not accepting responsibility in how she portrayed herself with talking about Melody and talking about her child, and how she portrayed herself in that fight. Now, she, again, lie and say that Bernard wasn't talking about sending choppers towards Mel. He was. And that everything is directed at Mel, because that's the only person you talk about on your live. And it was supposed to be a conversation about setting boundaries and personal spaces, but what did you say exactly about the child? It was a direct question towards Miss Wanda. What did you say? She want to divert it, deflect it, and say, well, basically, I got it from Martell. Because Martell did an interview with Dr. Heavenly, and he questioned the paternity of his last baby. And she took it and ran with it and kept on saying, well, who is the baby daddy? Now, from that interview, Heavenly asked him, had he ever questioned the children he had with Melody? He said no, he's never questioned the children he had with Melody, but he did make a shady comment towards Melody about having an abortion. That's who he said, I want to know who the baby daddy was of that baby, the last baby, the one that she aborted. But he never questioned Sugar Mama. He never did. So right now, with that, that's where it led to the whole melee. But Melody said no, I did not get that on her live because she kept on saying she gonna bring a picture of a man that she believes is the father of my children, which means she gonna bring a picture of a man that you think is Sugar Mama's daddy. It can't be the baby that's not here anymore. So you weren't talking about that baby. You were talking about Sugar Mama. Okay, you can miss me with that. And it's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? How I wasn't talking about the baby. I was talking about the baby daddy. Carla said, I got to hold you accountable, Miss Wanda. I do. Because if you're going to clap back at adults. Don't clap back at a child. And what did Marceau say? Marceau said she was talking about the baby daddy. Don't mean this, that don't mean that. And it's like you a fucking liar. Because Maurice and Martell told you inside the Madani store, she said Martell need a DNA test. And I do mean it because that baby look like the other man. She said that. And Martell never questioned his children. I did say that already. Then he spoke to Maurice and Kimmy because I want to know, understand how Melody and Martell could be upset? They do. But Maurice want to say he understands both sides. I don't know how he can understand both sides. Because he want to say that Martell never should have said that and Miss Wanda never should have did that. Because he want to say protect the kids. I'm like, Maurice, shut up. And like Martell said, that's not what we're discussing. We're not discussing my interview without the Heavenly, because my interview without the Heavenly did not do anything. All he did was talk about him not moving on from Mel, him being bitter about the divorce. We're talking about Wanda going around saying that my daughter isn't my daughter. That's the thing. And Maurice, you're doing the exact same thing. You're defending Miss Wanda's actions. How is both sides? Y'all can never say Miss Wanda is wrong. Just period. So it gets to Tisha. Do you think your mother was wrong? Yeah, I do. But she's not at fault here because she goes tit for tat with Mel. Because, Miss Wanda was going off about Melly sleeping around and that it could have been the possibility that that man she's sleeping around with is the father of her baby. Again, Tisha, you're repeating rumors or you're repeating conversation with your mother that Melody could have had another man and that man could be the father of her child. You're doing the exact same thing right now. I was like, Tisha, because she talked about how the groups and everything, and it's just like, wow, Tisha. It's so funny, though, because she repeated the same rumors at the Madani event. I have the rumors that Melody was having an affair with affair against Martell, and that the man could be the father of Sugar Mama. I was like, wow. Tisha, you are just like your mother. You're just like your husband. You have no problem repeating what was said about Mel, but you have an issue of what's been said about you. Funny. You're repeating rumors that are not accurate, but you have no problem repeating it because it kind of coincides to how Mel was dealing with anyway. And that Mel was wrong, period, and so was her mother. I'm just like, this is stupid. This is so stupid. Martell was like, Tisha, why can't you say your mother was wrong? What is so wrong for you to say your mother was wrong? And leaving it at that. Because she don't want to. Tisha does not want to hold her mother accountable for what she did without saying, but Miss Wanda, my mom did this because of, Miss Wanda did this because of, no. Your mother did this because she wanted to start a mess. She did this because she wanted to be a part of the show. She did because she wanted to do all types of crazy, foolish, landish shit that you allow her to do in your honor. But you act like, oh no, she didn't do that. No. And it was because of Mel. because Mel did this. I can't say she's wrong because Mel did it too. Again, accountability. Accountability right here. You don't want to hold your mom accountable for speaking about a child, a 2-year-old. Really? Because you have such a hard on for Mel. It's a hard on, it's a hate. Melly lives rent free in your brain. It's a bunch of bullshit being spun. Marceau wants to defend Miss Wanda, and it's kind of like, Marceau, you really are, at your, you really can, you really are, held on by the balls. Because you were upset the whole season that Miss Wanda kept coming at Tisha with rumors about you doing things. And you want to defend her? I mean, you defended her at the Madonna event that you did not hear her say, get a DNA test, but she did say it. And then you want to say that on her live, she was talking about Mel, but it switched her talking about the child. That's when she would have stopped. And that Melody cleverly, like I said, his word, switched up the conversation that all of the anger that was said towards Mel, she wants to use it and say it's towards her daughter. Huh? You're saying that Melody made up the conversation in her head that Miss Wanda was talking about her daughter when she was? She talked about DNA tests. She talking about bringing a picture of a man that she assumed is the father of her child. There is nothing to switch, Marceau. This is you sprouting bullshit. I said, and then Maurice, you sound stupid thinking that it's about baby daddies, not about children. What the fuck? Oh my God, I can't. Either way, Maurice, she spoke about that child. Like, Carlos called out Kimmy and Maurice because everybody was on his side when it came down to Tiffany, which they were, about Tiffany bringing up how he was vaping in the bathroom, but I always did feel two ways about it. Maurice did have a right to confront Tiffany about speaking on his son, but it was also to cover up the fact that he didn't tell Kimmy. Kimmy looked stupid for not knowing it. But again, how could you guys act like what Miss Wanda did wasn't crazy, outlandish, insulting, like it was about your son? So when he said, I'm not feeling that energy on this stage, Kimmy said, who are you talking about? Everybody. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to your son, oh yeah, it was rectified. It was understood. Maurice was mad. Kim was mad. Marceau was mad. Tisha was mad. Martell was mad. Melly was mad. Everybody on that stage was a parent was mad about Tiffany speaking on your child. But when it comes down to Melody's child, oh no, we can't just say Miss Wanda had no right to speak about her son, speak about her child. Miss Wanda was out of order. Miss Wanda was crazy out of her mind to ever think about questioning Sugar Mama. Nobody is giving that energy. Nobody. So now Kim want to say, let me speak for me. I have gotten into it with Tisha because of her mother, because what her mother did was out of order. But I feel like it's a backpedal of her bringing up Martell's interview because it's not about that. You spoke about that child, and you need to be accountable for speaking about that child. You need to hold responsibility for speaking on that child. You should not have been speaking about that child. You were wrong for that. And now we're dealing with common rumors about the public and this and that, the third. And again, the energy on stage is kind of funny. It's not black and white over here. You would think as parents, y'all would have a reason to be mad about Miss Wanda speaking on the child, but y'all not doing that. Y'all giving Miss Wanda a little bit of leeway, a little bit of a pass. No, we're not doing that. Because then it led to Marceau calling Carlos about not having his son be on camera without him knowing. He didn't like his son being on camera. Don't have my son in scenes that I'm not aware of. Because that was when Martell apologized to MJ about the 20 women comment. So consider the fact that you spoke to Carlos about your son being affected by the 20 women, why aren't you feeling that same exact energy of Melody and Martell that Miss Wanda was questioning the paternity of Sugar Mama? So again, call out Tisha. I told you my mom was wrong. Yeah, but you did answer it kind of slowly, Tisha. You took a minute to think. Because every time I ask you, you say, yeah, my mom was wrong. But, it's always a but. Every time. Maurice, Miss Wanda was wrong, but Marceau. Yeah, Miss Wanda was wrong, but Melody. Tisha, my mom was wrong, but Mel. No, there's no but. There is no but. Your mother was wrong, period, point blank. Then Martell called out Carlos for not rectifying the situation. He felt like, how could I do it when you guys not coming to me? Well, at the same time, this is not the first time she spoke about their children. The last time she spoke about their daughter's hair, how it's not as curly enough against her grandchildren and that they might cut it off. She said that, and which led to Martell confronting Miss Wanda, and I was not mad at him for doing that. I was mad when I got up on that scene because she spoke about my kids. So the fact that you didn't know anything about it, why should we have to tell you? You know everything about the show. But he felt like you didn't tell me, so I didn't know how to rectify. I didn't know what to do. I'm not a parent, but I feel like you don't have to be a parent to know that's wrong, Carlos. I'm sure you got nieces, nephews, that if they would speak about any of your baby cousins, baby nephews, your baby nieces, you would have been like, hold up, hold up, hold up. That's an innocent child. We're not speaking about we're not doing that. But then Carlos called Martell out for, you have emailed me and called me on other things. Let's not get it twisted. Pretty much saying, all right, I'm gonna be quiet, but you know how I felt about that. But then it took for both of them, Mel and Martell, to tell him about what was going on, which led to the comeback group meeting, having a conversation and talking. So Tisha want to say, how can we have a calm conversation about everything when Melly's always on live? Melody cut that conversation quick. I am not about to respond to somebody who defended their mother on numerous occasions. Good night and goodbye. Because it is a bunch of bullshit. Tisha wants to still defend her mother's actions by arguing with Mel how Mel is never held accountable, Mel is never wrong, blah, 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 and how I know my mother. I know her heart. You know what I'm saying? She does things, but she don't mean it. Miss me, Tisha. Your mother meant exactly what she did, okay? How I didn't say anything about the child. All I said was baby dad. Now I apologize for that part. You can miss me, miss me, miss me, miss me, miss me. And the apology was given, but she said, I'm not accepting that shit because she don't think she's nothing wrong. You are only giving her the opportunity to apologize. She don't feel like she's nothing wrong. She don't feel like she said anything wrong. So I'm good. Will Melly move forward with other people? Never. And I'm not mad at her for it because it's a bunch of bullshit. So now she tells Carlos, I mean, listen, if we're going to be honest, people need to be held accountable. It's annoying that everybody on this stage has defended her, and I'm good because it is the truth. All of them, Maurice, Marceau, Tisha, a little bit of Kimmy, y'all all defending Miss Wanda's actions about her child. And it's like, I'm good, I'm straight. And here go Marceau. He want to say that when have Mel have been held accountable for anything? She ain't answering him. She's looking at Carlos. What was your question, Carlos? Because it's a bunch of bullshit. You're only saying that because you want to now counteract that you just defended your mother-in-law on speaking of her child, and you want to cover up that you were caught having a naked photo in your phone so you can miss me, and how you can't tell me one time you were held accountable. Didn't she apologize to Tisha the first season? Didn't she apologize again in the second season? Didn't she apologize to Kimmy? Didn't she apologize to Destiny? Miss Melody have apologized and been held accountable for things that she's done, but none of y'all have been held accountable. Marceau, like I just said, you have not been held accountable for you defending your actions against having a naked photo in your phone. Miss Wanda has never been held accountable. Tisha, you have not been held accountable. Nobody is being held accountable up in this piece right now. So I feel like he's giving all this energy to ask Melody a whole bunch of questions left and right, back and forth, not giving her a chance to speak, having such an aggressive tone. And it's like, you give off that aggressive tone to nobody else but her. Nobody else but her. You give that aggressive tone to. You never give it to Martell. You never give it to Kimmy. You never give it to nobody else but her. It's funny. So yeah, Marcel, you could miss me with you now want to have something because I feel like you want to, again, change the narrative, change the conversation towards Mel, how she's never been held accountable, blah blah blah. You give so much energy and aggression towards Mel, and I want to know why. Why do you do that? Okay, and can you bring up a time that she was never held accountable? I would love for you to bring up one because Mel has been held accountable. Mel has apologized for things she's done. It's been y'all that sway accountability. So now he even said that if somebody had talked about his kids in that manner, there would have been no polite conversation. So you kind of understand why Mel would approach it the way that she did, why she had no issue coming at Wanda the way she did. And yeah, but you're not going to give Melody that because you still want to defend Wanda. And it's kind of funny though, Marcel, where you say that there would have been no polite conversation, but you and Martell had a polite conversation after you guys almost came to blows because Martell walked away from you because you were spitting out bullshit and defending Miss Wanda. and you got aggressive, wanted to plead your case. He said no, goodbye. Y'all took some time to cool y'all heads and had a decent conversation. So it made sense for you to be at a level head to have a decent conversation with Martell and admit the parts that you were wrong in. But you can't do that with Mel. You can't say that Mel had every right to defend her children against Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda had no business talking about her children. So how she handled it would have been normal. Oh no, can't do that. You can miss me. Then I'm wondering, is he the host? Because he keeps on asking question after question. Why'd you go live? It's her social media. I can do what I want to. And listen, I don't know why y'all are so concerned about my life. Y'all need to go ahead and figure your own shit out because you guys have been so concerned about Mel. And they were like, oh, whoa, we have. Yes, y'all have. Y'all can miss me with how y'all have not had Mel's name in y'all mouth. Marceau, you stopped date night to have a meeting with Mel to tell her about what Mark has been saying. You put Melody as a priority over Tisha's feelings. You told Tisha she was acting like a jealous wife because of Mel. Tisha, you wanted to know if Melody was coming to Martell's wine event, but you only wanted her to come so she can see him with Sheree. Marceau, you watched Melody's interview and talked about how she don't care about Sheree, but yet you think she does, and how maybe she's upset because he's upgrading. That's what you said. So y'all definitely convinced me how y'all been concerned about Mel. It's been about Mel. Ain't nothing said about y'all. Like, they going back and forth with, oh, you needed me for a storyline. You needed me. They don't need you. They never needed y'all. Y'all needed them. Remember? Y'all were boring. After what happened, you guys came on their vacation because y'all needed some camera time. Because you guys in certain scenes are boring. Continuing on with them, acting like they don't use Melody as a storyline. They want to have an argument. They go back and forth how Mel this, Mel that. Yeah, you keep wanting us. Check. Like Tisha said, girl, good night and goodbye. I think y'all just wanted to have a moment to argue with her because you guys just went through bullshit. You just went through now admitting that you did go through things in your marriage. Your husband is not holding himself accountable for things that he's done, and you're not holding your mother accountable. So now you feel like we can't just let this episode be about us and what we don't do. We got to add her in it too because she's wrong as well. Miss me. Carlos is still hopeful they can get back together. They can be how they used to be, but it's been too much damage. It's been too much hurt. That's never happening. And here go Maurice. Maurice has been getting on my nerves all episode because he has said too much. He has showcased his hand because he now wants to talk about, he thought that everybody would have acted a little bit differently, realizing that Kimmy had breast cancer and that we need to let stuff go. Tomorrow is not promised. We need to all let go of the petty bullshit, stop rehashing things. And I'm just like, Maurice, your sentiment is correct. Life is too short. You cannot live your life withholding drama. If you want to talk about how life is too short to be rehashing bullshit, apply that to your sister-in-law because your sister-in-law is still holding on to what happened the first season. Okay? Now I get it. Life is too short. Life isn't about to be about messiness and pettiness, but it's been too much hurt and damage that people cannot just let go of. So while you're giving this message coming out of your mouth, I think it's bullshit. I think it's you trying to rise above your part in this, how you don't want to be connected in all of this. Because you did partake in the mess, though, Maurice. You laughed at Tisha's puppets. You laughed at Martell joking about the interview that Marceau did with the girl who sent him a picture of her ass in the phone. You laughed at Miss Wanda. Cock-a-doodle-doo like a damn rooster. Okay? To me, I think you wanted a moment. I think you wanted attention. Because you wanted it to be not questionable that you not only dealt with the same situation that Mel and Martell went through, but you still want to say, if it wasn't for Martell, we wouldn't be here. No. Okay? Because I think you still want to defend, because I still think you want to still defend Tisha and Marceau about they're not bad, they did nothing wrong. You can miss me, okay? Because you want to sway everybody from not realizing that Marceau and Tisha and you are on bullshit. Next. So Stormy and Destiny, okay, we get their footage of them having an altercation at Galentine's event, right? And Destiny being condescending and aggressive towards Stormy after that, calling her sweetie. Stormy coming in with the Gucci purse to extend an olive branch. Now, Destiny didn't accept the Gucci purse, but they still want to have a conversation and they're moving forward. But it ended with Stormy not moving forward in a friendship, but being cordial. Now, we're in present time. They are sitting down. I love Stormy's dress and Stormy's hair. I did not like Destiny's dress. Her hair was beautiful. Her dress looked it unfinished, and her dress did not, um, I can't find the word, compliment her figure. It didn't. So when it came down to the whole gown size event and how does she feel about Destiny, she says that it was the energy that happened at the gown size event. And does Destiny come across aggressive? She said no, and says that if she's aggressive, I'm aggressive. I did not understand what that meant. I don't know why Stormy is defending Destiny's behavior because Destiny has showcased aggressive behavior the last 2 seasons. So why is Stormy not being not being honest about how Destiny came across? Because yeah, I found that to be kind of odd though that Stormy isn't keeping it a bug that Destiny has come across aggressive. So, did Destiny like Stormy when she first met her? She said she was cool when she first met her when she was pregnant. And then at the Valentine's event, she kept getting upset that Stormy kept asking her the same question. But Martell said just answer the question. But she didn't want to because it was pertaining the issues she had with Mel. But if that whole point of that Valentine's event was to talk about what's been going on, why couldn't Destiny just say what was going on? So she wasn't about to answer. She was being passive aggressive. And to me, Stormy was defending Destiny's behavior that night because she kept saying they were there for a long time. And, at some point, Melody and Destiny were like, I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say. But Stormy still wanted to know what was the issue. I mean, she's coming into the group. She wants to know, is everybody getting along? How is the friendship? And I just want to know. And to this day, she still don't know what goes on, what happened between Melody and Destiny. And neither does Destiny. And I didn't like that. Destiny still want to act passive aggressive with how she and Melody are at this moment, and she still don't know. I feel like Destiny. This is the reason why people are giving you that energy of you need to be off the show. If you can't answer a question about where your friendship is with Mel and expect for other people to just leave it alone, then you need to get off the show. Stormy said, "Does she like Destiny?" She says, "I do. I like her a lot." And I said, Stormy, I don't think Destiny likes you the way that you like her because you're giving way more expression. You're giving way more of a reason why you like Destiny, and Destiny is like, ditto. We're Gucci. Yeah. I'm not seeing where at some point you and Destiny are in a good place right now. I mean, I did see a video of you guys going out to dinner either after the reunion. I did see a reel of all of y'all promoting Stormy's product, but again, I don't see Destiny liking you the way that you say you like her. So then we talk about how Stormy came in on the show and how she's gotten a lot of hate of her being on the show. And they're basing it off of her being from Mississippi. She has an accent, that she's ratchet, she's ghetto, this and that, and the third. And Stormy said, listen, you're on a reality show and people tend to judge you on a moment that's not your life and they tend to know you because of that moment. And, I worked hard to get here. You know what I'm saying? And people do rag on her. In the beginning, I did not like Stormy because the way that she came across to Tiffany, but later I got to see Stormy who she really is. She's really a nice person. She's sweet, she's gifting, she's gracious, you know what I'm saying? She's grateful, like I said, she's giving, you know what I'm saying? So for folks to say that she is the ghetto aspect of the show, that's not true. It's a reality show that they're guaranteed to see mess, drama, bullshit, some ghettoness, some ratchetness, you know what I'm saying? That's a reality show. And if you want who is the ghetto factor, that's Tisha's mama, Wanda. But at the same point in time, y'all give Wanda so much love and grace because of what she does, because of how ghetto she is, how ignorant she is. But yeah, when it comes to Stormy, it's affecting Stormy. She's developed depression, while being on this show. And it's kind of like we can't look down upon that because Stormy isn't just a reality star. She was a businesswoman. She is a multi-million dollar businesswoman, okay? She is selling out her products everywhere. She came in down into an industry that a lot of black women don't have access to. So it's kind of funny that they're coming at her for that. Then we get to Destiny. You know what I'm saying? Destiny, people want you fired, okay? Because they're wondering, why are you on the show when you don't give anything? You're on the couch and next to you is a pillow that's supposed to be a man. Shade. But it's the truth, you know what I'm saying? Because we already know you are legally obligated to not talk about your divorce with LeBaric and also your custody battle, right? But Why come on the show if you're not going to showcase your life? You have a boyfriend? Are you in love? What is it? So, with her getting questions, she wants to know who's asking. The people. Okay? And then she starts to deflect. She starts to get defensive and shuts down. Because Martell, Tisha, and Marceau were like, see, this is what she does. When she's asked a question, she doesn't want to answer. She wants to deflect and say, I'm good, I'm shutting down. And that's the thing. That's the problem. You cannot get mad if somebody's asking you a question about your life. You are not you're not forbidden to talk about your life. So when it comes down to her getting questions, she don't like getting questioned. It feels like a gang up. Of us asking you, are you in love? Asking what's going on in your life? Asking you what's up with Madani? That's not you getting ganged up. That's asking about you. You know what I'm saying? And she is in love. And she would love to tell us what's going on. She would love to keep us informed. But she can't. For some reason she can't. But like Carlos said, we've had a 30 episode season and nothing was about you. Absolutely nothing. You had one event and you had a photo shoot. That's all you had. So even with you having a better relationship with Kimmy and Tisha, they were trying to get you to pull, to give in, to talk about something. And you didn't budge. You didn't bite. And it was asked of Kimmy, do you feel like Destiny doesn't give anything? You feel like Destiny doesn't involve her life on the show? Kimmy has said to her on and off camera that you don't talk about anything. You don't give anything. You know what I'm saying? And Destiny's a private person. If she's a private person, that's fine. But don't get on a reality show that is pretty much give you the I can't find the words, I'm stuttering. But you're on a reality show where you're practically forced to talk about your life. You're practically forced to talk about what you're going through. The cameras is not about to hide certain things. Don't sign on a reality show if you're not going to give your life. Don't do that. Okay? And if you don't want to be on a reality show and be private, then this isn't the platform for you, which is the truth. It's the truth. If you don't want to talk about things, then don't get on the show. So Carlos had even said producers have found Destiny to be difficult because they throw a lifeline for her to talk about something and she doesn't take the bait. She doesn't talk about anything. So Destiny said that there were some things that she filmed that were about her life. Her divorce isn't the only thing that's about her. She is rebuilding her life after divorce, being a single mother. And it has been difficult. Even Tisha was in the background giving clarity that she did have a vulnerable moment. They just didn't show it. Because, Destiny, we're not about to deal with you filming and you give one vulnerable moment and we're expecting you to still give more. You be like, I don't want to. I don't want to. Leave it at that, okay? So, talking about how she is rebuilding her story and it's difficult, Kimmy chimes in and say, well, we've all gone through that. We all have felt difficult talking about things that we did not talk about or we wasn't ready to talk about. And Kimmy felt like, well, you're making as if it's so specific towards you, and it's not towards you. Everybody on this show has been forced to talk about things that they didn't want to talk about. Destiny was just responding to Carl's question, and Kimmy came in thinking that Destiny felt like it's all on her. For her to talk about things she's not ready to talk about, it's all on her. But Kimmy said the way you worded it, as if it's specific, it's as if it is specific towards you to talk about certain situation, and it's not. All of us have done through that, and that's not what Destiny tried to do. So now it's tension. Marceau said, "Don't come for Kimmy." She said she ain't coming for her. Oh yeah, because she can't come for me. So I want to know what set Kimmy off at that moment to come after Destiny, because you didn't get that same energy to Mel when she called your husband the least relevant on the show. You kind of didn't give that same energy to Kiki after you said she was talking about Tisha. So I want to know what set Kimmy off, because I think in this episode we're going to tap into Kimmy talking about her having breast cancer and how she found it difficult to move on from the show. But what led to you getting so riled up at that moment with Destiny? I just want to know, because it wasn't wrong for what Destiny said. Even though Destiny's been giving a lot of passes for her to say she has more to come, she has more to show us, but how long is it going to be? When will you give us your life? If you're not, you can get off the show. And then we see Carlos crying towards Martell, how he's still in love with Melody. He wants Martell to be okay. Now, we show a clip that Melody was looking down crying, but I did see a deleted scene that it was Kimmy that made Melody cry, because Kimmy wants to know, Kimmy wanted it to be known there is accountability to be placed on everybody. And if we all start at the beginning and not start at the middle, we can see how everything was broken down, how everything came about, and how we can move forward. That's why it made Melody emotional. Not because of Carlos saying that that Martell still wants Melody. And she already clarified that in her her Instagram, because she saw that clip and say, oh, no, 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 that's not that clip. That was the reason I was crying, not because of this. And I want to know, why was Carlos crying? But next part of the reunion is going to be interesting as well. But this whole episode spread accountability, deflection, backpedaling, and their last names are Scott. Those are their last names of what accountability name is. All right. But y'all, that's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Cry. Bye.